everybody. I'm Kate Conroy.
And I'm Vinny Civitello.
And this is Other People's Business, which is the podcast from the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, the largest statewide business association in the country. We release a new episode every other Wednesday these days, so be on the lookout for that. Shout out to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance. They provide home, auto, and workers' comp, and they're the official sponsor of the show, so check them out if you need some updated coverage.
Sure. So a couple housekeeping matters. Like she said, the show airs every other Wednesday on your podcast network of choice. iTunes, Google Play, Amazon's Alexa, anywhere where you can get a podcast, we're absolutely going to be there. We would totally recommend that rather than going and trying to find us every other week, just subscribe to the show, njbia.org/subscribe. You just let us, you let them know what's not network you watch the show on, and they will let you know whenever we're new. Good example of that, we've been gone for a month now.
Yeah.
This is,
did you notice?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't actually let you know because we're terrible people.
We are.
But we took a month off and now we're back.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
In fact, we're such terrible people that our guest today, Pam Etzin from An Eye for Detail, is here. I somehow forgot to tell her that we also release a YouTube version of this.
Yeah.
So she's mad at me right now, and I can never apologize enough. I'm so sorry.
Again, we're terrible people. If you'd like to write in and tell us about it, you can write into my complaint department at P.O. Box 326, Dubai, Abu Dhabi 9966. That's what it's there for.
Or wait, hate mail at njbia.org?
It's actually opb@njbia.org. That one's real. We will get that. So by all means, let us know.
Please do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So with us today, you just did it.
I did.
Pamela Etzin from An Eye for Detail.
Yes, An Eye for Detail.
Say hi, let the audience hear your voice.
Hi, everyone.
And I hear that you schlepped quite a bit to get here today, and I thank you for that.
I actually thought we were going to have our first no-show. I thought we were stood up.
So you were really a little nervous. Well, it did take a little bit longer, and I was,
seeing the sights of New Jersey.
A little bit confused, but I got here.
I'm so glad.
I know Princeton. Am I near Princeton? I don't know.
You are a tiny
Relatively,
bit near Princeton. Yeah, absolutely.
Like 15 minutes or
I
something.
actually had been in Trenton a while ago, but it's okay. I found it.
I'm so glad.
Thank you.
All right. So today's icebreaker is, as a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I could go first.
All right.
So recently, I was cleaning out my parents' attic, and I found a bunch of stuff that, I had written for school and stuff when I was little. And I found it was like this little leather-bound report kind of a thing that was titled, What I Want to Be When I Grew Up.
Leather-bound?
Yeah, it was like these little things with loose leaf in them that you would just write. And it was meant for kids, there's
Sure.
2 pages in there.
Okay.
So I opened it up, and sure enough, what was written there was, when I grow up, I want to be the communications manager for the New Jersey Business and Industry Association so I can co-host and co-produce the greatest podcast in New Jersey.
That is...
And here I am.
That shows such prescience.
I know.
Foresight. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seriously, I wanted to be a movie critic. I'm not sure how far that goes back, but I know for a long time there. And actually, I had this, you might call it a career goal, a career path. The best word for it would probably be long con. What I wanted to do was build up a reputation as a serious, reputable movie critic and just lie in wait. And then when a movie came out from a franchise I loved that was either terrible or disappointing, I was going to give it the most glowing review possible with all these little sound clips like, Ghostbusters 2016 is a comedic tour de force. Something like that. Just so that my name would appear on the box, in the box set, with, all the movies,
That's a really genius idea.
I know. Solo, a Star Wars movie, is an adventure ride I never want to get off, The problem is, they stopped doing that. They still put the quotes on the box, but they don't attribute it to the writer anymore. Now it's like, Star Wars The Force Awakens is the best Star Wars yet, says the New York Times,
I didn't know that they stopped using the...
Unless you're somebody huge, I know Roger Ebert passed away, but if Roger Ebert was to call, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life, Roger Ebert's name would be underneath that if he was unfortunate enough to make that claim. But yeah, that was just the long con that I wanted to get into. And then I don't know where my career would have gone from there. Maybe I would have had to just send out a tweet like, look, I don't know, I liked it. Or maybe it would have just shattered my reputation.
Yeah.
But,
No more book deals, no more jobs for you. Damn, that's really good. Pam, what about you?
Well, I don't know if I really knew what I wanted to do, but I will tell you what I spent a lot of time doing.
Okay.
Playing with paper dolls and clothes, seriously, and baby dolls and clothes. It's interesting when I think about growing up, clothing, seriously, is all the way back.
Yeah.
I mean, as I grew up, I really wanted to be a teacher or a social worker. I wanted to always help people. But the clothing piece, it's all through my life.
That's
So,
awesome.
Paper dolls, do you even know
I
about
totally know what paper dolls. I had the Princess Diana wedding paper doll set. Like it.
Wait, give me a visual. So it's like literally like we take this piece of paper, we cut out Princess Di, or
So it is pre-cut out. So it's like perforated.
3-dimensional or 2-dimensional?
Two-dimensional usually. And then her clothes are also perforated, so you have to very carefully like break them apart, and they each outfit has like little tabs on them. So you hang them like on her shoulders and then around her hips and then around her legs.
Change her style and just play with fashion.
Oh my God, yes. I had
I believe you had that, you lucky duck.
I wish I still
I wish I had known about that.
When I first started this job, I actually have a big girl crush on Kate Middleton. And when I first got this job, Kim Copperthwaite in the events department gave me the Kate Middleton wedding dress paper doll book. And I couldn't bring myself to like perforate and like open it, but it's still in my office to this day. It was an amazing gift. I was like, you just don't even know.
That's awesome. She is a fashion icon, guys, though.
Totally.
People really follow her style.
Her.
We love her.
I love her.
I love her, too.
She seems cool. I've never met her. But is this something people still do? Because I feel like this is the sort of thing I could download from the internet and print out. Like, I don't know how they make their money now.
Ooh,
Like, I guess the perforations, you'd have to use scissors and stuff.
There's a little bit. I mean, as my daughters were growing up, we had dolls, but, to change clothing, but it was wooden pieces.
Okay.
So you could put the skirt on the top with a head and change it around that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Less destructible, too, when you talk about kids. Yeah.
could travel with it, and there weren't scissors and stuff like that. But so I think they still do that because, a few of my daughter's friends are fashionistas, but they're in the fashion industry. And they talk about playing with dress up and clothing and all of that. So it's interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
You ever make your own custom clothes for them? Like get a piece of paper, cut out like a top, and no?
No, it wasn't, because nothing that you could make would ever be as good as the detail on Princess Diana's wedding gown. Or or the honeymoon clothes. Like, they were just so...
Did you say the honeymoon clothes?
The honeymoon
we know
clothes.
what Princess Diana wore on her
Oh, yeah.
Of course we know.
Of course we know.
There were photographers everywhere.
Sure, that makes sense.
They went to Scotland.
That checks,
First of all. The reporters were already there when they landed, and they were taking... Oh my God, how do you not know this?
I was young when Princess Diana went on her
So was
honeymoon.
I.
When did she get married?
I think
Ballpark
it was 81.
Okay, so then I wasn't born yet. But, yeah.
William was born in 83, I think. Something like that. I don't know. I probably shouldn't...
Oh, not good with those numbers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just the style and the look.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So I didn't retroactively go back when I'm learning about who Princess Diana was and type into Google, so what did Princess Diana wear on that honeymoon?
You haven't watched the YouTube video of Princess Diana getting married?
There's a YouTube video of her honeymoon? Just the wedding.
There's the wedding, and also the little mini interview that they did up in Balmoral on the honeymoon. You know what I'm talking about, right? Against the fence when they're wearing the tweed and...
And Kate has a lot of the same style.
Yeah, she does.
Very much similar hat style.
Yep.
Posture is very much the same. Clothing style. It's really interesting how...
I often wonder how much of that is her and how much of that is the stylist that is hired by the royal family.
I think it's a good combination of both. I think she has a good sense of her
so.
own style.
Yeah, I agree. I love her.
Me too. Me too.
All right. So
This is where I'm supposed to
some-
kick in right now.
I'm going to say something that what's really great, in addition to a million things about Kate, is that she re-wears clothing.
Yes.
She doesn't just wear it once.
Yes.
She donates it often. Buys at all different price points, so not everything is super fancy.
Yep.
So she's very smart thinking and very mindful of those things, which I find really,
Refreshing and nice.
yes,
I like
very
that.
refreshing and nice.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that when she I'm not going to say shops, but when she wears something, because I'm sure she's not going out and getting it herself, but when she wears something that's like, let's say, the British equivalent of Kohl's. Do you think that like people in England or all around the world like run out and buy that thing?
They do. It sells out like that. In fact, not to tell you that you're wrong, but there are multiple times when she's photographed coming out of a store like Zara, which we have
so you're saying
here.
She does shop.
She does shop,
okay.
yeah. And you'll see her like in jeans and a hat or whatever with a shopping bag, and God knows what's in there. But then like every once in a while you'll see her in a Zara piece, and you're like, oh my gosh, and then it sells out immediately.
Do they have to shut the store down when she does this, or is this the kind of thing where I could just be like coming up to somebody and being like, look, do you know where they keep the Q-tips? And it turns out that I'm talking to the Duchess of Cambridge.
I love that you knew her title.
Thank you.
But
I think they shut
I think they shut it down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Security for her.
For her, right, exactly, for security.
So I guess that kind of counts, but I'm sure she's not really in there like going down the aisles unless they, well, maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to, she is human, sure.
Yeah, but there's been a time or two that she's gone shopping and wants to feel just like a normal person.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's a commoner. She was a normal person up until she said I do, or got engaged, I guess. When she got engaged is when her security detail became a thing, I believe. I know. We could talk about this forever.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I'm sorry. So probably as I got older, I got a lot more practical, and I was like a teacher or somebody who's helping or whatever. But when I was little, I wanted to be either a cowboy or a ballerina. Like the two dichotomies, like they couldn't be further away from each other, right? But I loved to dance and express myself, but I also loved riding horses and taking lessons. So it was just silly, one of those two. Yeah.
What broke you away?
Money.
Money? I mean, it's not that expensive to be a ballerina, right? Like,
no, but I also am not that tall or talented. And it's expensive to take horseback riding lessons. So I did that until middle school, and then I just did not have the part-time job to fund an endeavor like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, tell us what you do.
So I am a person who believes in feeling great about ourselves. And I know for a fact that many women don't take time for themselves, put themselves last. So I am all about empowering women through personal wardrobe styling and personal shopping and pieces that attach to it, such as organizing a closet and all of that. But really what I say is that I help women feel radiant and feel beautiful and confident in a very easy way, and it's through their clothes.
And it is so awesome. I've never worked with Pam professionally, but I know her well enough to know she's so awesome about stuff like the closet. Like she'll get in there and sit down in your closet floor and like really go through stuff with you. It's hard. It's a really hard thing to go through your closet and purge because you have an emotional attachment to clothes sometimes. And I still have the dress that I wore to my rehearsal dinner 20 years ago, and I am now divorced. But that dress, I looked great in it, and I felt great in it, and I think someday I might just wear it again. Maybe. I don't know.
And the truth is, you might.
Right.
But generally speaking, most people don't wear what's in their clothes. In their closet, excuse me. The clothes just sit there, and, they complicate things. I have a lot of tricks and tips and things like that, but basically I think you should be able to get dressed easily, quickly, know what you like, put it on, and go. And really, it shouldn't be bigger than that. So when you have all of this stuff cluttering your mind and you're sifting through and you can't remember what's on this side, or you're not sure if that fits, or the pieces that really don't fit and they're really saying you can't wear me now because you don't fit into me or whatever. It's just way too complicated, and it doesn't need to be. So I really believe, I call it my stress-free closet. That's really what I try to create with clients. Just make getting dressed easy.
Yeah, I love that. And you help people all over New Jersey, too.
I do.
Yeah.
Whether it's northern New Jersey, Princeton area, South Jersey. I've traveled to New York City as well, Connecticut, wherever, they need me. But it's really for the woman who understands the value of, of having the organized closet, having the right clothes, and really just wants to make life easier for her. Herself.
And if I remember correctly, you do big jumps, but you'll also do didn't you have a woman who needed an outfit for an interview?
Absolutely.
She called you just for one thing, and you were like, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that woman is going to feel empowered in, perhaps she doesn't know where to buy it, or she's not sure of the fit, or she really needs me to, suggest different price points, and whatever it is, I'm happy to do that. Special occasion, interviewing is, a super important day. So you got to feel your best. And there's things that you need to know, color, fit, pieces like that. So if you need me and I can help you and offer my expertise, I'd be thrilled.
What is your feeling on color at an interview these days? Because back in the day when I was interviewing a long time ago, it was very like neutrals. You want to stick to neutrals.
Well, guess what?
What?
Not a lot has changed.
Right.
Not a lot has changed. Of course, it depends on industry. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking at accounting or, lawyers or that kind of thing, you want to be understated. Mm-hmm. If you're looking at marketing or certainly fashion, it's going to be a different look. And it has changed, and color plays a different role. But you have to really know where and what you're interviewing for. Mm-hmm. So, you can't go wrong with basic colors. If you can add a little color underneath a suit or a jacket or earrings or accessories or something like that, go for it. Mm-hmm. But again, you've got to know where you're interviewing.
Totally agree. How did you get into this?
The paper dolls, right?
The paper dolls started it.
Yeah.
So the truth is, I grew up in a house where we were always dressed.
Oh.
It's very interesting.
Dressed nicely?
Dressed
most people grow up in a house where you're always dressed,
Well, dressed nicely. Good point.
Professionally.
Yes.
So
I knew what you meant.
Okay, so I grew up in Buffalo, and my dad was a fan of always looking proper. In those days, he said proper. Proper could mean a shirt and a V-neck sweater and a pair of pants. My brother and I went to public school, and we walked. It was Buffalo. We walked back and forth in dresses. I wore a dress and a coat or a little skirt. That's really what I did. My brother wore a jacket and a shirt and tie to public school.
A jacket to public school. Wow.
To public school.
It's brave.
Yeah.
Well, it was awful because the kids made fun of us.
That's why I said brave, yeah.
But guess what? The teachers loved us.
Sure.
Oh, sure. That makes sense.
They thought, here we really cared how we showed up. And we did.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I would have been quite that dressed.
Mm-hmm.
But my father, that was just how it was. He just felt it was all about how you were perceived.
I love that. I saw a little meme online this weekend that said a woman should always look like she's on her way to something better later. Like, you should always be a little bit overdressed for where you are. Like, always look like you're on your way to something else that I'm not saying this well.
I get what you mean, though.
Yeah.
We're hanging out now, but afterwards I got this gala I'm going to.
Right, exactly.
So I got to look good for that. This
right.
is just,
Well, it's interesting because, I don't know if I should share this, but I will. I was 1 week in business, I've been in my own company, had my own business for 8 years. So my first week had been a busy week. I was all excited. I had a few clients to start with, and it was Saturday. Now I work a lot of Saturdays, but then I didn't. So I went to my local grocery store, dressed in a sweatshirt and sweatpants, hair in a ponytail. I didn't look horrible, but I certainly didn't want to run into people. So guess what? I ran into everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
Everybody, because when you think you're not going to see anybody or you don't want to see somebody, you know you're going to. So not only did I have to talk about that I just started my own personal styling business.
Oh, gosh.
I wanted to cry.
Yeah.
But I had to tell the truth. I just didn't want people to see me, and I was kind of like... So the point is, you can still wear jeans and a T-shirt, but feel like you're ready to be seen.
Add the accessory to make it a little bit
earrings,
up a notch.
lipstick, what exactly. And just not wear sweatpants with, which I left the other piece off, head paint all over.
I was going to say, you could just play it off you're the expert. This is what's in right now. The sweatpants with the paint, it's coming back, all right? Who's going to question you?
Well, perhaps a great little necklace and my go-to earrings and everything, but that's not what I did that day.
Right.
And the truth is, I will never forget how I felt.
Right.
And yes, I did know the people and everything else, but it was just a level of, it's not really how I show up. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be fancy or any of that. It was just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It was a learning moment.
Sure was, and it stayed with me because I remember.
Yeah, I feel the same. For a long time, I didn't want to live in the same county that I worked because I didn't want to accidentally run into like a member on a Saturday morning with my, looking the way that I look on a Saturday morning.
Right.
But I got over that eventually.
Right.
But I think we talked once about the Barefoot Contessa. Did we talk about her? I love her.
I love her too.
She likes to talk about pairing the high with the low. So like a beautiful table setting with like stew. Do you know what I mean? And I love the idea of pairing like jeans with pearls and heels. Do you know what I mean? The high and the low that are unexpected, but anybody can have expensive jeans. Like they don't have to be $5 jeans you get from Old Navy or whatever,
And I love that. And that is something that I really believe in because let's face it, we all have a certain amount of money or a budget to spend. So where do you want to spend it? And you really do want to spend it with the most important pieces. And there's nothing wrong with wearing jeans from Old Navy with great pearls and a pair of shoes that you love. And maybe you did spend a little bit more on those because that might be something where you invest, shoes have to be comfortable and you want to get wearings out of them. So mixing and matching is really great. I love her too because she says these things in such a way that it invites you to experiment. And there's no shame. Doesn't matter about price. It's not fancy. It is about a look, but she wants you to enjoy it and try different things and make it fun and, maybe wear bigger pearls than you normally would wear.
Absolutely. By the way, I just ordered my first pair of Rothy's. I'm so excited.
Okay, we talked about comfortable shoes.
Exactly.
Oh, is that what? Okay.
Their shoes.
The context clues led me to believe they were pearls because we just talked about pearls.
No, they're shoes.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't wear them, but I know a lot of people who do, and they swear by them. Comfort.
They're made by recycled plastic bottles.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're a little bit more expensive than I would normally ever pay for shoes, but the women who I know that own them swear by them. And you can literally throw them in the washing machine. They're ridiculously easy to clean, I guess.
See, so you're being mindful of the environment, which is wonderful. You're supporting a business, which is of a person who is mindful of the environment. And it's great because they're going to wear well.
Yes.
So that is a great place to spend a little bit more because you know that in the long run, you're going to get your money's worth, which is, we all want to get.
And I can keep wearing my Old Navy jeans.
They had great jeans this summer and great jean jackets, everyone.
There was a point this summer, I don't remember the day, but I got an email. Everything on their website was 50% off. And I was like, sign me up. What am I getting?
It's awesome. Denim jackets, white jean jackets.
Yes, so cute.
Black oh my gosh, I sent a lot of people there. I didn't need them, but I sent a lot of people there. That's awesome.
It is.
It's the knowing.
It is.
Yeah.
It's absolutely right. All right. Anything else before we take a break and play a game?
Unless there's a question.
Nobody ever has anything else.
I know.
You should never ask people.
Well, I asked all of my folloup questions, and I can't think of any more follow-up questions, but I've asked.
Well, then we'll go on break. Oh, go ahead.
I could just say is it important why I do what I do?
I think there's a genuine passion, and that comes across.
There is a genuine passion, and I really, and I'm going to throw it out to you. Like I talked about, I know the difference of how we feel when we get dressed. So I say to you, wouldn't you rather feel good when you leave the house in the morning instead of, if this has ever happened to you, it's happened to me, you walk out the door and you start feeling like, I'm not super comfortable. Why did I wear this? So it's really, that goes back to the closet, and it really goes back to taking time to think about how do you want to feel. It's not only about look. It's about how do you want to feel.
Totally. This morning, post-summer, I had 2 pairs of pants to choose from, and I put on the first pair, and I was like, oh, no, I can't.
Were they too summery for you?
They were a little too tight for me because it was the summer of food.
Right.
It's the summer of food.
That.
Yeah. So it was one of those moments where I was like, I could get away with these, but I'm not going to be super comfortable.
See, but that's awesome because you took the time to really pay attention to that. Yeah. Instead of going through your day thinking, I'm not really that comfortable.
Right.
Why did I wear
this?
these? I should have changed. So kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you. But I need to get some salad into me.
Ditto.
Well, on that note.
On that note, all right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to play Awful or Awesome.
Cool.
All right. And we're back. We're now going to play Awful or Awesome. I'm going to name 3 things, and we each have to decide quickly if they're awful or awesome and be prepared to defend our answers. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Ready.
All right. First up is mixing patterns.
What do you mean by that?
Vinny. So, like, mixing, like, plaid pants with a print top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What did you think I meant?
I have no idea, and that's why I asked. Because I'd be the first person to be like, that is awesome, Kate. And then the rest of you would be like, Vinny, this is a objectively horrible thing. Like, always good to know what we're talking about. So,
all right. So, awful or awesome?
Well, let's go with awesome, because, I don't
That's
know.
a bold
Yeah.
That's a bold statement.
I mean, I don't know that I do it a whole lot, but I don't have a lot of clothing that would lend itself. Like, I don't have any, like, polka dotted pants or, like...
Most pants are, like, solid color.
Yeah.
Pinstripe? Any with a little stripe down the leg?
I might actually have one, but I don't know that I've... like how you buy things and then you don't wear them? Like, I probably have one somewhere.
Ding, ding,
ding. So I'll have to take a look, but, yeah.
All right, so you're awesome.
Yeah, I tend to get really adventurous when buying pants and then really conservative when actually, like, putting them on and coming to work. Like...
Really?
Yeah, I think I've got, like, 20 or 30 pairs of pants at home that I don't wear.
Oh,
Get out of town, 20 or 30
Probably.
pairs of pants?
Well, remember, like, as a guy, I've been roughly the same body type for a long time.
Sure.
And I'm not going to, like, when you're talking about a plain pair of black pants, beige pants, blue pants, they don't totally go out of style, like, at the end of the season. So a lot of them are still in there, and, probably a lot of them still have tags and, all that. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
My heart.
Awful. I know.
My heart.
Awful.
I know.
I need a Pam.
You kind of need a Pam.
I do.
Yeah.
All right, mixing patterns.
Okay, I think it's great. Not everybody can do it, and it does depend on the pattern. But there's something called twin prints, and that can be the same, let's just say red, white, and black in a polka dot and red, white, and black in a check. So you're picking up the same colors, you're just having some fun with the pattern. So I think it's really cool. It also depends on if you have, the, I don't know, what's the word? If you could do it. The, help, need the word.
Yeah, I was
confidence.
Yes.
But
I was thinking Carrie Bradshaw. Like, Carrie Bradshaw could do it. But I think that was mostly Pat Fields behind the scenes making it happen. Yeah. So she had a good not color scheme on her face. She had good hair, good skin, like
Great stylist.
Yeah.
Great shoes.
Yeah, no kidding.
So not every pattern works, but why not try?
Yeah. I think I'm the same. I was going to say awful unless it's done well. Because when it's not done well, it truly is awful. And I've seen some awful things.
This past season, there were a lot of craziness with different patterns going on.
I agree.
And, I mean, the mannequins, you noticed it. But honestly, I could see it in London. I could see it, in certain places. But where in New Jersey are people wearing it? I mean, you're going to stand out. It almost looks wrong.
Yeah.
So, you've got to have the hair and the look and the attitude if you're going to do it.
Totally. All right, next one.
Wait, sorry, real quick, before we leave that. I was going to say, I want to say 15 years ago, I was listening to the radio, and they were talking about, the in-styles this season. And they had mentioned that the Pantone Society, which is a society of color, had decided that the color for this season was yellow. And I was like, I want to be in the Pantone Society. Like, how do you just, get a job sitting around talking about color all day? But it's, a thing.
It is a
People do this. They decide this is the color that you are all going to, I guess, strive to wear. I don't know what that means. Are you going to wear yellow every single day of the season?
Well,
I don't know.
What it means is that designers, and they came up with a color that they're pushing and telling you should wear, and that everybody should wear it, and that you should have it in your wardrobe because it's new, and that's fashion. Mm-hmm. The truth is, not everybody should have it. Not everybody should wear it.
Yeah.
Many people try to, and they're successful, and others should really stay away.
I wore yellow for years until somebody was like, Winter white. It's a really hard color to wear.
It's a really hard color.
Yeah.
Gold is a little bit easier. It has more depth to it, and then there's different hues and things. But yeah, people actually do that for a living.
That's amazing.
And say, this is what we all need to wear.
It reminds me of that scene in Devil Wears Prada, where they're going through the belts. They need to choose a blue belt, and they've got like 20 belts, and they're all the same color, but each one is a little bit different. And the girl with the bangs rolls her eyes. What's her name? She's from Jersey. You know who I mean.
Princess Diaries?
Yes.
Anne
Hathaway.
Hathaway.
Yeah,
She
sorry.
kind of rolls her eyes, and Meryl Streep totally schools her on how the process works, and she breaks it all the way down to the discount bin at TJ Maxx where you find this belt next season. And I just was like, that's amazing what just happened. The color is decided, and that's it.
That's it.
It's amazing to me.
It's a crazy industry. And even though that was a little exaggerated and I worked for some crazy people, it's crazy.
I heard that The Devil Wears Prada was based on a real person, though. Like, the Meryl Streep character is a real person.
Supposedly, she's based on Anna Wintour. Yeah, Anna Wintour from, what's the name of the magazine?
Used to be Vogue, I think.
Vogue, yeah.
Wasn't it Vogue?
Yeah, totally Vogue. And I have never met anyone who's worked for her. It's all just hearsay. But word on the street is that she's a bit much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm just going to leave it there, unless you have any...
No, I'm good here.
Yeah, you're like, disavow all knowledge of this conversation. I want to work again tomorrow. Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Marie Kondo. Speaking of cleaning out your closet, Marie Kondo.
Awesome.
Really awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Why?
Oh my God, it's amazing. Like, all right, so I guess I am somebody that likes to live on the cleaner side. You know, my wife is not. We're gonna put that. You know,
Wow.
we're gonna put that out there.
Tara,
'Cause
under
I don't
the
know that
bus.
she watches the show, so whatever. I can say whatever I want. So we're watching this show. You know, it's on Netflix, and you know, for people that haven't seen this, it's basically a show where a woman comes into your house, convinces you that anything that doesn't bring you joy should leave. You know,
Wow.
so you go through all your.
It's a high bar. Some
is.
things are just adequately necessary without needing to bring me
Yes,
joy.
and I think, like, for me, it was definitely a place of striking the balance.
Sure.
But, you know, I was done with the episode, and I was like, we got to get to work. Let's go, you know, to try to drive her to, like, get some of her excess stuff out of the house. And it worked to a degree, you know.
Really?
Like,
Okay, so what did you start with?
Me? Well, she tells you to start with the clothes. So,
I meant you. Yeah,
now,
I have my own.
I should have gotten rid of a lot more of the pants, or started wearing them, you know. But I left a lot of that, like, you know, because you always think, like, all right, I will wear it, or maybe. You know, yeah. But, you know, my clothes have been relatively organized for a long time. I actually, like, my closet is color-coded. It's, you know, coded by, like, personal clothes and work clothes and all that, you know.
So's mine.
So that's awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah, I have a whole section of work clothes versus play clothes, and each side is color coordinated. It's amazing. You do
that's
that
great.
too?
Yeah.
No wonder we get along so well.
I know, right?
But your wife doesn't.
No, so Tara, I'm lucky there's not clothes on the floor, like, half the time. But yeah, so, like, just anything I could do to get that process rolling. Let's clean the house. Let's do something. I don't want to live like this, you know?
Wow.
You know,
So you're really talking about organization and just feeling like things have a place.
Yeah.
Right.
So I agree with that, since you asked. But
Yes.
seriously, though, I wrote a newsletter about it because I think clothing is a little bit different. I don't think everything is about bringing you joy.
Yeah.
I think there are certain things that perhaps you have a great black jacket that you still wear and you may not love it. Maybe the lapel has changed or the sleeve or whatever. It still fits. It still looks great. It serves a purpose.
Yeah.
So it may not be joyful, but it may be very practical. So I am very mindful about that. Excess things go through your underwear drawer and yes, get rid of excess. You have socks that don't match, and if you don't want to wear blue with pink or green with purple, if that you're not comfortable with that, which I could care less, you know, when I go to the gym, get rid of that stuff. But I think it's gone too far. I go into homes and I see the opposite. People got rid of too much. Or they take it too seriously in the sense that this is what I was told I should do and we should do. Yeah, it's interesting what I see. Books and things like that, yeah, there may be a point of joy. I think she's terrific in marketing, to be very honest, and I know that, there are a lot of people who love it, but I think it's more important with clothes to really sit down and think about it and ask yourself, do you need it? Can you use it before you discard it?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think saying like X thing brings me joy is far for a lot of stuff. But I think where I liked it was that we went through basically everything in the house with this eye of, does this still need to be here? Like for me, I'm a tech junkie. I have boxes, or I had boxes and boxes of like gadgets, wires, cables, old phones, old phone chargers. And I'm like, what am I doing with this? Like, I don't even know what this power cord goes to. Like, why have drawers and drawers and boxes of stuff like that sitting around just in case one day I need a CD cleaner or, like, it's just
Totally.
Like, so a lot of that stuff was very easy for me to, like,
just let go of.
Yeah.
So joy, it's the joy word that I think I have a problem with because, there are certain things. I mean, I still have an encyclopedia in my house. Yeah, I can go online and Google this and that. But sometimes it's just, I don't know, it feels good for me to have it. I love books. Yeah. Do I have a million of them? No. I think that's just being mindful again and thinking about, do you really need it? Is it creating clutter? How do you feel with all that stuff around you? Is it too much?
Yeah.
So
I would agree with you on the word joy, but I go in a little different direction. So I grew up in the Midwest and we were very anti-waste. Like we had a compost pile. So we recycled anything and everything over and over again. And so I have a sock drawer that is out of control. And it's not considered an okay thing to donate used socks for some reason. Like you can donate used clothing, that's fine, but socks are like a little squiffy or weird, I guess. It is killing me to throw away perfectly good socks that I just happen to not wear anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like it brings the opposite of joy to throw them away.
Could you use them for something else? Like dust rags or, stuffing it in a pillow?
Yeah, but there's too many.
Cleaned, obviously.
Obviously.
But, yeah.
see, that's what happens sometimes when you go into somebody's home. So there's an attachment because of how you were brought up, a story that replays in your mind about that. So it feels like you're being wasteful, probably.
Super wasteful.
So the truth is, I think, is that you probably could find a place.
Maybe.
That would
want
not
them.
every place would take it. Some place takes shoes.
Probably depends on how far gone some of these
and it
socks are.
depends.
Right. Some of them I've only worn once, but they've been worn.
But they're probably fine to be
probably
donated.
fine,
They're
but-
probably fine. But are they serving a purpose?
No, they're not in my drawer. Not at all.
So that's where what she has to say
I'm sure
can be
you
helpful. I think you could.
It's not underwear. I'm sure you could
No,
donate
it's
to
not.
the
It's just
Salvation
socks.
Army or
You're right. It
church
probably
or
is
something,
fine, but I just get hung up on that whole wasteful thing.
Yeah,
the cords. I had a bin of cords, and I didn't know what on earth I was going to do with it. And it was agonizing because it felt really wasteful to throw them away. And I had a friend who was eBaying old cords and making money doing it. You would be surprised.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you know what it is. Like, in a lot of cases,
Right.
you have a lot of, like, micro USB cords sitting around that are still perfectly usable on a ton of devices you have. In other cases, like, I want to say, like, phones pre-2014 or so all used different proprietary things, and I'm like, I know this is to a phone.
Yeah.
I don't know which one.
Right.
But then I discovered that Best Buy will take used or old electronics and they'll recycle them for you. If you just bring a bin, they have like a bucket, multiple buckets right inside their door.
Never seen that.
Yes. Oh my God, I got rid of so many and it felt so good and it felt like I was recycling and not wasting. And oh my gosh, but I need a place like that for all my other stuff that I just don't use or need anymore. And I just can't. It's such a weird thing, but I have trouble with it.
And for what it's worth, when I Marie Kondoed the sock drawer, like, that was life-changing. Like,
you too? Really?
Yeah, like well, no, I don't have problems. Well, no, I guess I did. I had socks that weren't like, but I didn't care to throw them out or donate them. They were just taking up space in the drawer.
So what
it wasn't
did you
like
do?
I was actively thinking about them. What made it great, well, I threw out the socks
threw them
that
away.
like I didn't want. But like, the way that you organize it, like, you know, because I used to just kind of like flip them over and, you know, do the whole thing where you bunch them together.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize you're damaging the sock that way. Like, you wind up like stretching it out.
The elastic?
So, like, she had it where you just fold them and you just put them in a row and then you just come and grab one and go. And it's the easiest thing now. I just grab a pair of socks and I go.
Except...
Yeah, go ahead.
What if you have different length socks?
Yeah.
And different patterns of socks? And
Well, so I organized them again by color. So, yeah, like, I've got the
so
black
much time.
socks, I've got the white socks, and then I've got...
You know what I
I
started to
differ.
do? I have a whole bunch of safety pins, like little baby safety pins from dry cleaning. I started pinning my socks together. So now, when I take them off at night, I pin them together and I throw them in the dirty laundry, and then I don't have to sort. I don't have to, like, make pairs because they're already done. And then I just dump the whole thing into the sock drawer, and I grab one sock, and out comes a pair. It's it changed my life.
Okay.
Changed my life.
You got a system.
I do.
Yeah.
I feel like we talked a long time about
Socks.
socks.
It's a conversational podcast. It goes wherever it wants. Again, you can refer to my complaint department. You can get the address at the beginning of the show.
Hate mail at NJBIA.
There's that one.
All right, I think we all had answered for Marie Kondo, right?
Sure, yeah.
All right, the last one is designer perfume. And by that, I mean, like, Michael Kors perfume. Or back in the day, remember when Elizabeth Taylor had, like, white diamonds and then black diamonds?
Do you know that they made, like, one commercial for white diamonds that aired for, like, 30 years?
They did.
Like, I could actually, like, I'll tell you, the white diamonds commercial is Elizabeth Taylor driving up in the car and being like, they always gave me luck. You know? like
She made a lot of money with
she did.
that.
I guess so, because it was on for 30 years, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, Larry Fortinsky got all that money, didn't he?
It's amazing.
Very
like,
last husband. Wasn't he like husband number 8? Larry Fortinsky?
I think so.
That's terrible. Anyway.
No, I was going to say, like, the
Designer.
marketing department at White Diamonds must have just been, like, chilling out, like, all day doing nothing. We're going to run that same commercial again this year? Absolutely.
Why not? It sold
It
and
works.
everybody made money.
Made
and
money.
The residuals.
Yeah.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Sure.
Anyway,
So
I think...
designer.
yeah, I think it's a little obnoxious. I think Ralph Lauren doesn't need a perfume. Come on.
But
I could be
people
wrong.
like
I
labels.
know people like
See, so
labels.
you're not a label person, and
not.
I'm not a super big label person.
I don't have a
And I
horse
know
in this
you're
race.
not.
Like, I'm not going to, yeah, I don't know.
I know you're not. So, but a lot of people are. There are people who like to wear designer buckles and designer handbags. And if you walked by them and you like their fragrance, you might say, oh, I love the perfume you're wearing. Oh, well, it's Gucci.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Brands like that sell.
They do.
So I could care less because if you I like it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who makes it.
Yeah. Okay, that's a
But-
good point. Yeah.
But people like brand names. They
Yeah.
like to tell people.
They
So
really do.
it's such a huge industry.
I know.
Huge.
I know it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you wear perfume?
I do, but I wear like the Bath and Body Works body splash. It's so lame. Actually, I'm so wed to this scent that they discontinued it. Like,
Was it White Diamonds?
no, it was not. It's called Flowering Herbs, actually.
Ah.
They discontinued it 15 years ago, and now I have to buy it on eBay, almost like black
my
market.
gosh.
Yes.
Oh, that's so funny. But that always happens. You love something and then
Yes!
you take it away.
It's like going back to that time that I, imported the Oreos from South Korea. Only this seems less crazy. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's on the same level as crazy, but yeah.
I don't know. It's way too much money, I'll tell you that. The
Yeah.
only way that I can justify spending the money is that it's completely discontinued. It's the only way that I can continue to wear the scent, so...
And there's nothing that smells comparable. Like, maybe you could go to like the,
a
what do you call it, the
go-to.
desk at the mall and be like, I need something that smells like this,
Oh,
you know?
wow.
Yeah, I've never been successful at that. The closest that I've come to finding an alternative is Chanel No. 5 because it's so classic. But I usually only wear that for like an evening thing. The body splash is like a daytime thing.
And perfume smells differently on everybody.
Yes.
It's their body chemistry. So
It's true.
I was also going to say, just like, how many different scents could there possibly be? Like, within, like, that they'll actually do. Like, nobody's making, like, cotton candy perfume. Like, so that they'll actually do. How many could there really be? Like,
I don't know.
So you probably, like, if you put in the effort, I'm sure you could find, like, a a look-alike, a smell-alike, whatever.
But you'd have to be able to find out what it's made of. And they don't usually divulge that.
No. There's a list of ingredients, but not...
Because I used to be friendly with somebody who worked for a perfume company.
Yeah.
A chemical company, and they don't talk about, you know.
Really?
They may say it has more lavender and it has a little bit of this and that, but they'll never tell you exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
It is interesting. Just another big industry that we do hope survives, even though.
Of course.
But it's a label.
Yeah.
It's a label thing.
These labels. All right.
So I feel like this goes back to us being terrible people. Normally, before this show, we give our guest a heads up that we have this one question coming up.
Uh-oh.
So we
I
forgot.
did give her the script.
You had it, so I guess
is the
if you've been
question?
scanning it, but what is one piece of advice you'd give to your younger self? And my apologies if you don't have an answer to this because of that.
Actually, I did, but I forgot.
Oh.
So
should we keep talking about socks?
We
It'll come back.
So what's one piece of advice you'd give your younger self?
She's like, go back 20 minutes ago and stop the conversation about socks.
I'll tell you, to buy you some time, I'll tell you this question came from last year, our Women Business Leaders Forum. Bobby Brown was the keynote, and somebody asked her that, and she said, just chill out. It's all going to be fine. And I was like, wow, just chill out. It's all going to be fine. I don't think my younger self would listen to that.
She's a very successful woman, and it's easy. I don't know her. It's easy for me to think, she looked back and said. For me, I think would be similar. Not take things as personally.
Oh, yeah.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Okay. Elaborate. Yeah.
When I started my career, I was born in Buffalo, moved to New York at 20 years old, and I worked for some really fancy, well-known designers. They were very picky. This was in the day when the Garment Center was really, oh my gosh, it was a world unto itself. And I worked for a designer who used to audition you how you walked across the floor. Seriously. Used to handwriting analysis, wanted to hear your voice.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. There were a lot of crazy stories, not all of them, because some of them were very normal. But I went through things like that. And I remember walking across the floor, being myself, which I'm always in a hurry, walk fast, walk loud. I want to get to where I'm going. And he hated the way I walked.
Oh.
So, of course, I thought, oh, my God, I don't walk right. I don't do this right. I don't. The truth was, now that I look at it, this was not a great place for me to work.
No.
We were apples and oranges. I was not a fit in that, in the company. I didn't really like him. And yet, I took it all against me.
Yeah.
Because I was young, I needed the job. It was very cool. He was a well-known designer, and on and on and on. What I could have said is, maybe wear sneakers, wear this or that, or I could have just said, you know what, move on. But I didn't. So I think I always took things, and I, to this day, work on not taking things so seriously. Because the truth is, can't control what somebody thinks about you.
It's so easy to internalize something that means nothing to the other person. Like, they just say something offhand in a flippant way, and it means nothing to them, and you feel like, oh my God, has this person always thought that about me? Do I need to change who I am fundamentally as a person because it annoys other people too? How do I fix this? What do I do?
What did I do? What did I say? And you just don't know where it's coming from.
Right.
So I think that would really be, because I say it to myself today. So in a sense, it's kind of what Bobby Brown said, but,
Yeah.
you're doing okay and you're really okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Consider the source and just...
Other people's opinion of you is none of your business. I love that
you
one.
You told me that,
I love
and
that.
I love that.
Yeah, it's so true.
That.
It's so true.
Anything coming up you want to promote?
Love people to check me out. An Eye for Detail, wardrobe styling, personal styling, and all of that. I have a newsletter on my website that people are, it's free to sign up, and I send out newsletters with tips and different ways of helping you. A lot of opinion on what I think is right and how to do things, where to get things. And
I'm a subscriber. It's lovely.
Thank you.
It's wonderful.
Thank you. And
For the sake of the audience, web address, phone number, email, however people could get a hold of you.
ifordetailnj.com. And I'm on Facebook, like my page.
I for detail or NI for detail?
It's WWIEYEFOR detail, DETAIAILNJ.com. The name of my company is NI for detail because I have an I for it, but it's I for detail. Check me out on Facebook. My telephone number, if you want, 201-575-2626. I travel. I love to have conversations with people, and I'm happy to give, my opinions and a free consultation if need be. Love to help you find your style or re-find it or just find happiness and joy.
Oh, I like that.
In your style. Why not?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I think that's our show.
It's our show.
Yay. Thank you to our listeners, especially the subscribers. We really appreciate the support. Thanks to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, the official sponsor of the show. They do home, auto, and workers' comp, so check them out. And finally, thank you to Pam Etzin from An Eye for Detail for joining us today. I loved our conversation. I thought it was so fun.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.